Hey everyone, Kevin here with the NOYC Godcast, where we bring you wacky wisdom each week from God's Word. In this episode, we're going to continue our discussion titled Audaci-me. Typically, when I used to hear the word audacity, it wasn't a positive thing. For example, someone would say, I can't believe she had the audacity to talk to me like that. So as I studied this out, I recently learned that audacity actually means to take a bold risk. So in the example above, the person is saying they can't believe the person would speak to them so boldly and taking a risk on how they might respond to them. Okay? So the biggest difference that I see between having audacity in our prayer life versus how the world views audacity is there's no risk involved in our prayer life. When we put our trust in God and believe in Him and not us, there's no risk involved. God will always provide for us what we need when we need it. In Philippians 4:6, it says, be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your request be known to God. So that's right there. God is saying, tell me what you
do it.
want. Do it. Like ask me. God, ask me. You know? So while God knows our every need, want, and desire before we even know them, He still wants us to come to Him in prayer and boldly ask for our need, wants, and desires. You might be asking yourself that if God already knows this, then why do we need to pray for Him for these things? And the main reason I can think of is because God wants a relationship with us, and like any relationship, communication is required.
Yeah, because if He just did everything, then we would never have to have, like, and quote unquote, need Him. Does that make sense? Because it would just happen. It would happen behind the scenes, and we would just be like, oh, that's just life. That's just how it's happening.
Yes.
You know?
Luck.
Yes.
Karma, even.
Yes.
So, 2 bad words.
It is October.
Boo.
I wouldn't think of luck or karma for October, but
I was thinking like you went, ooh.
Oh. No.
You don't think of luck in October? For
Luck and
That's
karma.
That's March.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Halloween.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking like the
like
superstition,
the black
number
cat.
13, black cat, break a mirror, lose a finger.
I was listening to a message this week. You're in Philippians 4:6.
She's only broken like 5,000 mirrors since we've known each other.
Stop looking at him. So you read Philippians 4:6, be anxious in nothing, but in everything prayers over. I listened to a message this week. This really isn't applicable, doesn't apply here, but I just want to say it and make some enemies. So here the preacher was saying, like, prayer request time, which I think we talked about this week too, in a conversation that obviously made a big impact on you because you remember it.
I do remember talking to you about
But we were talking about prayer request, and this message was talking about prayer request, and the preacher said basically how dare you ever ask other people to pray for something if you haven't first really prayed to God yourself and got serious with God. And like, how many of us, like, prayer request time is like share time or like vent time or like, all right, you guys help me on this, when if you haven't really sought God's face, like, to a point where you've prayed and you're not anxious about it, you have no business bringing it up in prayer request time. Like, that's not popular, but like I believe that. Like, if it's serious enough to take up service time to share, it's serious enough to pray.
How much shorter that time would be?
Well, I think that's the thing is, like, we expect it's someone else's problem mentality. Like, we're like, you pray for that, so now it's almost like you can blame if it doesn't happen. Like, they didn't pray hard enough. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's like the thing you talked on the first episode where you have to ask God if she can come over and spend the night.
Yeah.
Still doesn't work that way.
Okay, so as followers of Christ, we have access to a wealth of unimaginable resources. I think of it this way. When we turn on the water in the bathtub to prepare for a bath, we have to keep an eye on the water so the water level doesn't overflow the tub. Okay? I lost my...
I like how you say water.
Water? Did I say it?
Water.
That time you said it correctly.
You said water.
Water. Okay.
Water.
All right.
Must be a
I'm trying to
Jersey
find
thing.
myself. It may be. So imagine at the end. Okay, I'm totally lost myself, so I'm gonna freelance this. So we have to keep an eye on the water level of the tub so the tub doesn't overflow. Okay, because we don't want it to overflow because it'll make a mess on the floor. Right. Okay, so we tend to treat our prayer life somewhat like that. You know what I mean? Like I have to keep a check on how much I'm asking for. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to ask for too much in the same breath as we don't want the water to overflow. But we know that if we don't turn the water off, it will continue to flow. Okay? So God's resources are infinitely greater than all of the water in the world, and he wants to use that to help us. At times, we tend to limit what God can do based on what our minds can perceive him doing. God is the God of the impossible. There's nothing that he cannot do. After all, we've heard through Christ all things are possible. I say this to say, be bold yet humble in your prayers. Bold because God will always give you what we need when we need it. God will always give us what we need when we need it. Got that? Okay. And humble because we do not deserve access to God's unlimited resources. Okay. So, yes, ask for it, but understand that you don't deserve it.
I think that's a healthy balance for a prayer life, like bold and humble. Like how often do we have one or the other in churches? We see boldness like, gimme, 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 rub the lamp, rub the lamp, rub the lamp. Or we see humility like, oh, I don't deserve anything. Oh, I shouldn't ask him for one more thing. But like really a healthy dose of each is what Jesus had in his prayer life and really should be what we replicate in our prayer life. Like all these verses, I mean, all month we've been bringing up verses about coming boldly, praying boldly, seeking him boldly, but also in humility, recognize that it's not about you, it's about him. And he does have unlimited resources and he does care about you, but recognizing who you are compared to who he is. Right. And so praying, I think humble and boldness, those two things I think are a perfect sum of the month. Yeah.
And I honestly, so the thing is though, is that most of the time I feel like Christians are asking, but there's no other communication.
Yeah.
With God.
Yeah. Okay. So like, so they're going and they're like, I want this, this, and this, and this, and this, and they'll start the prayer off, be like, thank you for everything you do, Lord, but I need this, 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 and this. And there's no like actual communication besides that. There's no asking God and then waiting for his answer. There's no actual like talking to him besides asking. Right. And so how do you feel like when somebody, like, you know, that one person that comes to you and it's always like, I want stuff from you. Yeah. I need something from you, but they don't want to talk to you otherwise.
Well, right. I think that's why humility is important because what you're doing is you're prideful. Like it's a one-sided conversation. He's going to listen to me and I have no interest in listening to him. And so that's why humility is so important in prayers because humility is hearing from God, not just him hearing from you or doing your list, right? And I think we all know those people that dictate a conversation that's very one-sided, but also that ask constantly of you. That's a prideful person, like a person who feels their time is more important than your time. Their words are more important than your words. We shouldn't be that way with God. Like we need to approach him boldly, but humbly.
Yep.
All right. You get a response.
You got the thumbs up.
I'll take that.
Cheap.
I'll buy that cheaply.
I believe that.
So today's feature content is Walk with Jesus by Consumed by Fire. And that song is like, I don't know if you guys ever experienced this or not, but like if I'm like cleaning something or just doing something around my apartment with just in silence, I'm like listening to gospel music in my head. You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't even have to be on. And I'm like.
And Josh is still singing the wrong words in his head.
You better believe it.
It's okay. It's okay. That could cut back on my like Siri if I had Siri or something. I don't need that music. I have it in my head. So this week's considerable quote is
He's to be a very old dead guy.
Ah, yes. To be a Christian without prayer is no more possible than to be alive without breathing by Martin Luther.
Yep.
So
it's very, very applicable to the month of October.
Yeah.
Reformation Day is in October.
Yes. Anyways. So last week's trivia. Oh, there it is. Huh?
Still says.
Thank you, CJ. I didn't know it was there. Okay.
What's the bananas?
Yeah.
How many different varieties of bananas are there? Is it 50, 250, 500, or over 1,000. It is over 1,000.
That's a lot of
Can I
bananas.
just say I disagree?
Crazy bananas.
I don't like that answer.
You don't like that answer?
Well, I'm sorry.
Truth is truth.
That's a lot of bananas. And who took the time to count?
Right?
Well, obviously they didn't. They got to 1,001. They're like, oh, well, there's over 1,000.
Honestly, that's the inventory for NYC. If it gets over 10, we're like, it's over 10. It's like, we don't have anymore.
Wow. Like, I would like to know.
Can you name them all?
I don't know.
We did last week.
Yeah.
There's yellow, there's brown, there's green.
We got to like 5.
Did we? I thought there was 3.
I think
No, we
it's
got to 5.
4.
Yeah.
is
And then
plantain a banana?
Because we also have the little tiny bananas.
little guys.
It's not a spider that grew together.
No, it's Kenthoven. He is not a spider.
He is the spider that turned into a banana.
He ate the spider.
I guess it's one of those things like
CJ understands.
when I want a banana, I know what I want a banana. Like, I don't have to, like, you know what I mean?
I've never looked at like a Walmart and be like, is there a different type of banana?
Well, that's my question. Why is Walmart cheating us? If there are 999 other
Why do we
varieties,
only see
why
one?
do we just have one?
Capitalism. I have no idea.
Shop Aldi's, folks. Shop Aldi's.
They only have one too.
You're right. Shop Kroger.
only have
yeah.
I'm out of stores.
They have mini bananas.
Shop Trader Joe's. I guarantee they have
They
the
even
one
have
banana
those? We have
I've never been to one.
in Crocker Park.
Yeah, that's like a while away.
If you want more bananas,
They have mini
Gonna have to
bananas.
drive for
Gonna have to drive
Walmart
for
has
it.
mini bananas.
Yeah.
Like they're like that big.
I feel compelled to Google this now. Like, do they all taste the same?
Yeah.
Mm.
You know what
Google
I
it.
mean?
Explain 1,000
Well,
bananas.
plantains taste different than bananas.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Aren't they
love
more
how you're
savory?
Southern. Like, you said plantain. like your whole voice just went deep
Plantains.
south. Like, the plantain.
There's chocolate covered
Those two
bananas.
words.
There's
Like
peanut
plantains
butter
are-
and banana. There's Foster.
Those are not types of
Banana.
banana. Those are just desserts.
Oh, pudding. There's banana
The pudding.
Bread.
Banana cream pie.
Bread.
Banana
Banana
bread.
bread.
Banana bread with nuts.
Oh yeah. Well,
And chocolate chips.
You
But-
put chocolate chips in your banana bread?
You can't.
I prefer
think we should do
zucchini
that.
bread.
That doesn't have bananas in it.
I know.
That would be crazy.
Because you put
getting off
bananas in
topic.
it.
Oh, what are we?
Sorry, guys.
We have a trivia this week, too. So,
Filler.
how.
He has an accent too. Did you hear how he said
I
filler?
did hear that.
Filler. Plantain and filler.
We come from
No,
the same
she was
family.
plantain. I was Werner and
Filler.
filler.
We did have Southern food today.
That could be.
Not how that works. That's not how that works.
CJ's so trying to get us back on track.
So
So
this
bad.
week's trivia is how many gallons of water is there on the earth? Is it 317 quintillion, 415 quintillion, 527 quintillion, or 673 quintillion?
I want to know how they know. They got that one guy bucketing everything,
They got a bunch
Losers
of
track.
gallons.
putting it on the other side of the ocean.
Oh, look, a banana. Oh, I lost track.
Oh goodness.
Mail call! Okay. So it says, I know I've said this before, however, I want to tell you again that I really enjoy the weekly podcast. You guys together really know how to get and keep people's attention, as we just went on the 10-minute break,
She'd like to redact that comment at this point.
and make us think. Really enjoy this month already. Keep up the good work, Missy.
Thanks, Missy.
Thank you, Missy.
Thank you, Missy. And just like Missy,
You
too can send us mail so we
You
can
two can distract us from bananas.
Yeah, you too could also get that weird noise that we made
All yours. All yours.
for free.
Absolutely free. Exactly. So, guys, make sure you hit that like button, share, subscribe,
Comment.
mail us, and all those fun things. And we will see you all next week. So long, guys.
Bye.